Forum Communications, the producer of this fine podcast, has been publishing and supporting local news across the Midwest for over 100 years, and they have named this week Trust Week. It's a week highlighting all that goes into covering local news to ensure we keep your trust. Local news is one of the best ways to stay connected to your community, so during Trust Week, you can get 50% off a new annual subscription to Duluth News Tribune. Just visit duluthnewstribune.news/half-off to get this special offer. That's duluthnewstribune.news/half-off to get 50% off local news from local reporters. Hello Northlanders, it's Tuesday, April 4th. I'm Wyatt Buckner with your Duluth News Tribune Minute, presented by Minnesota Power Employees Credit Union.
The average MPECU member saves over $785 a year in better rates and lower fees. And with MPECU, every ATM is your ATM. With their free checking program, you get ATM fee reimbursements at any ATM anywhere in the U.S. Check out Minnesota Power Employees Credit Union services online at mpecu.com or visit their offices in downtown Duluth, Arrowhead Road, or Miller Trunk Highway.
Now here's a look at today's headlines. Educators from across Minnesota rallied Monday to draw attention to what they consider an unfair pension system for K-12 public school teachers. At a rally in the Capitol Rotunda, several hundred people called for changes to a retirement plan in which nearly every public school teacher in the state is enrolled. Teachers who were first hired before July 1st, 1989 can retire after they turn 65 or if their combined age and years of service total 90. A teacher hired before that cutoff could theoretically retire under that rule of 90 when they're 56 with 34 years of service. Teachers hired after that date are in Tier 2. They can only retire with full benefits once they are 66 years old. The penalties for retiring early under Tier 2 are also much steeper. A Tier 1 teacher could retire early and only lose 3% of their retirement benefits for each year they were short of 65, up to a maximum of 30%. A Tier 2 teacher stands to lose 4 to 7% of their retirement benefits for each year they're short of the threshold of 66. Staff at Education Minnesota, the statewide teachers union that organized the rally, held up HF 2222, a bill in the state legislature that would allow teachers to retire with full benefits when they reached age 62 or when they had accrued 35 years of service. Union staff hope changes like those can help recruit new teachers to the profession or entice existing teachers to stay if they're on the fence. In remarks at a Twin Cities Metro factory Monday, April 3rd, President Joe Biden said he's determined to reestablish the U.S. as a leading manufacturer and touted his economic agenda's positive effects on job growth and the domestic clean energy industry. Addressing a crowd of hundreds at the Cummins Power Generation facility in Fridley, the president said his economic agenda has been key to spurring investments in industry, particularly in advanced sectors such as chip manufacturing. Since taking office, Biden has signed multiple bills investing trillions into the American infrastructure and economy, as well as clean energy, and he is touring the U.S. to promote what he says is his role in improving the U.S. economy. Cummins, an engine and power supply manufacturer, has chosen the facility in Fridley to produce electrolyzers, devices used to produce hydrogen for use in clean energy. It's the company's first such facility in the U.S. and is expected to create 100 new jobs. Biden visited Minnesota as part of a national tour touting his economic agenda. He arrived in Minneapolis midday and met with Governor Tim Walz on the tarmac at Minneapolis-St. Paul International Airport before heading to Cummins. Ahead of his remarks, the president toured the new facility with the governor, Senators Amy Klobuchar and Tina Smith, and U.S. Representative Ilhan Omar, who also addressed the crowd at the factory. From police investigations to victim resources to prosecution tools, the local justice system has bolstered its efforts in recent years to respond to reports of sexual violence. The Duluth Police Department eliminated a long-running backlog of untested sexual assault kits and implemented trauma-informed training for its officers. Survivors are now able to choose if and when they want to submit a kit for testing and to track its status all the way to the state crime lab. Changes in state law have eliminated statutes of limitations, closed loopholes, and added new avenues for prosecutors. Leaders and advocates gathered Monday at the St. Louis County Courthouse to highlight a series of recent reforms and announce the launch of the new public awareness campaign, A Step Forward, coinciding with the start of April's Sexual Assault Awareness Month. PAVSA and partner agencies plan to use Duluth Transit Authority buses, billboards, and online advertisements over the next several months to underscore improvements and reassure victims as they come forward. Now here's a look at your forecast, brought to you by the News Tribune's Northlandia podcast.
Duluth area forecast for today: snow developing, possibly mixing with sleet at times, even a touch of freezing rain. High temperature right around 30 degrees with an east wind around 15 to 25 and gusty. Snow continuing tonight, although it may be mixed with a little sleet at times during the evening. Strong winds coming in off the lake, gradually turning around to the north over the next few days. Total accumulations of snow between now and Wednesday night will be somewhere as little as 3 to as much as 10 inches around the lakeshore. Temperatures will be fairly cold in the 20s and 30s, briefly colder, then will start melting a bit this weekend. I'm Storm Tracker meteorologist John Wheeler.
Thank you to the Northlandia podcast for their support. The weekly podcast explores curious and unique stories here in the Northland. In the latest episode, arts entertainment reporter Jay Gabler shows how a fairyland park led to a museum of doll dioramas in Grand Rapids. You can find that episode and more at duluthnewstribune.news or wherever you also get this podcast. Reporting for today's episode was done by Joe Bowen, Alex DeRozier, and Tom Olson. Thank you for listening to Duluth News Tribune Minute. Have a great day, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.